We are going to the NBA. And last night, Rob, you had two really, the NBA, I will say this, these opening games, there are a lot of storylines, which is great. So last night, of course, the defending world champion Denver Nuggets host the Los Angeles Lakers, star-studded Lakers of LeBron James and Anthony Davis. Denver, of course, swept Los Angeles in the Western Conference Finals a year ago and had talked some smack, mainly Coach Michael Malone. He had been called the Lakers' daddy at the championship parade. He had a history with LeBron because he coached him in Cleveland as an assistant. On and on and on and on. Anthony Davis says that he and LeBron talked about all the trash talk coming out of Colorado, and they were ready for it. And then the game starts. And man, Anthony Davis, Rob, first half, in one sense, looked like he was all that. 17 first half points. Going to the hole, scoring. But he only had one rebound. That's why I said on one hand. In one sense, he looked great. But still, the 17 points, you like that. Rob, second half, Anthony Davis, smack dab in the middle of his prime. One of the absolute best players in the league. Top 75 all time, history of the game. Scoreless.
Scoreless. Chris, almost impossible. You hear me? Almost impossible. You could have a bad game, get a couple free throws. You could tell me you didn't get a basket, but you had 3 points, Chris, at the free throw line. Seriously. To get a goose egg in the second half for a guy of that talent and that caliber, that's something else. That ain't about basketball. That's got to be more. It's not, Chris. That's about heart or something. That can't be about basketball. You can't tell me Anthony Davis can't get a basket or can't get fouled and make 3 free throws or whatever it is.
1 free throw. Something.
Chris, in the second half. That's mind-boggling.
No, it is. And well, I'll say this. It's sad and should not happen. And I won't say it's mind-boggling, and I'm guessing you're going to agree with me on this, Rob. How much more evidence do we need? This is who Anthony Davis is. Now, the 0 points, okay, that's a little beyond the pale. But how many times have we seen Anthony Davis, whether it's a half or a game, just not show up? And look, 17 points, 8 rebounds, what he ended up with. You know, some guys would die for that. But we are talking about a player, I mentioned it, top 75 all time, right in his prime, one of the best players in the league. And Rob, I have just accepted, still a great player, nobody's saying he's not, but I have accepted, Rob, and you know there are levels to everything. Unlike the ultra elite, the Nikola Jokic's, the Giannis Antetokounmpo's, the LeBron James, certainly in his prime, largely even now, Steph Curry's and Luka Doncic, unlike them, Anthony Davis cannot be counted on to give you 90% or more of his ability or potential night in and night out.
That's sad.
I'm not saying every night you're at your best. But Rob, am I wrong? The greats, the real greats, they generally give you 85, 90% of their production every night. And AD just doesn't do it. And I've accepted that. It's sad, Rob, but it's true that at 38 years old, about to turn 39 in 2 months, LeBron James is still the Lakers' best player.
And that's a sad statement because we thought that Anthony Davis, after that championship in the bubble, Chris, remember he made big shots. He played big. We thought, okay, here we go. This is it. He's got his championship in his back pocket. Nobody can take it away from him. All he's got to do is go out and play ball. That's it.
Pressure was off.
Pressure was off. You're not going to be this big guy who never won anything. You won. And what have we gotten? Like that to start the season?
A little bit of a decrease.
Can you imagine being Jeannie Bust and Rob Pelinka knowing this, you cashed this guy out all season? Seriously.
Well, look, I mean, there are guys, you know that, right? Like he ain't the worst player making that kind of money by any stretch.
No. I'm just saying, like, I can't expect a goose egg. When I realized it when you said it last night, when the game was about to end, you remember I was saying I picked the game, I picked the Nuggets and whatever, and you were saying you gave the total, and you said Anthony Davis had 17 points, and I said 17. He had 17 in the first half.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like when you mentioned that, it clicked. I was like, how did he have 17? He had 17 in the first half. And then, when I'm reading the story, Chris, and we got I'm like scoreless in the second half. Yep. Wow.
0 for 6 from the floor. Now, look, I'm going to, because I've accepted that that's who AD is, and you're going to have nights like that, Rob. We saw it against Denver in the conference finals. Great first game. Struggled. I think he was 4 for 15 or something in the second game. I'll get the exact numbers soon. But great third game. And he, he's a versatile guy, so he put up decent numbers elsewhere in that series. But scoring-wise, he was on, off. Here it is. Game 1, 40 points. 14 for 23 against Denver, even though they lost. Next game, 18-14. Nice line, but shot 4 for 15, Rob. Next game, 28-18. 11 for 18 from the field. Awesome. Next game, game 4, the final game, 21-14. Nice, but 6 of 15 from the floor.
Right.
And he's a big. That, like a big, of course, occasionally everybody has off nights. But a big should not have a 40% shooting night, a 27% shooting night within a stretch of 4 games, especially in important games like that. You're a big. You're near the hoop. Now, I'm going to say this, Rob. I'm going to, and Rob G will probably like this if he may have heard me say it earlier. I'm going to I think there is a positive regarding Anthony Davis coming out of last night's game, Rob. And I really mean this. If you look at his shot chart, and obviously watch the game, he was attacking the rim. He only took 2 threes, which I think he should only take 2 to 3 a game. Darvin Ham said 6. I don't know what the heck
how many did he have, Chris?
About.
2 in the first half or two total?
He took 2 total.
Oh, 2
so
total.
So he was 1 for 2 from 3, and he only took 4 mid-range jumpers. So overall, he only took 6 shots outside of the paint. Rob, he took 11 of his 17 shots in the paint, essentially right at the rim. Not in the paint near the elbow, in the paint below the dotted line and basically at the rim. You know what? I love that. If he had missed 7 mid-range jumpers and 4 threes, I would be really salty. But I can live with him missing driving layups because, one, he's not going to do that most of the time. He's going to make those drives.
If you're going to the basket, Jokic, I can accept that.
Right, and Jokic is there. And I know Jokic isn't a high flyers, that's by certainly not that. But he's not a leaper. He's not athletic in that sense.
He's a
but he's
toe.
Big.
A tippy toe.
Right, but he's huge. And he's smart and he knows how to position. So I think that affected AD. You ain't facing that every night. And so I will say that. I can live with AD going to the rim and you're just missing some bunnies. Okay. Because most nights he's going to hit those, Rob. I want AD to keep attacking. Keep attacking. Don't just settle. You're going to take some jumpers, of course. You can hit some. But don't settle all night for the jump shot or the 3. Get to the rim, and more often than not, Rob, it'll pay dividends for him.
No, I'm with you on that. And if it was all perimeter stuff and he's jacking up threes, then you got to have a different conversation with you.
Yep.
But still, for him to just have 6 shots in the second half, Chris, and I mean, like, I'm sorry. And this is, Chris, did you play point guard? What position did you play?
Point.
Point. This is what I don't understand. I'm dead serious. Like, a whole game could go. If I'm the point guard and my big fella, Chris, hadn't scored, we go, dude, get down there, right? You're going to get a bucket. Right. I'm not going to let a quarter. Do you know what I'm saying? As the point guard.
No, right. I hear you.
Chris,
That's
not that hard, right? Like seriously, I'm going to, dude, this play is for you. We got to get you going. We're not going to win here against Jokic if you don't have any points. It's not going to happen.
Look, you're absolutely right. And here's what happened, Rob. He was 0 for 5 in the third quarter. So that means he only took 1 shot in the fourth. And I don't know if you've met AD or anything, but AD is a nice guy.
No,
AD is
the soft-spoken,
right. He's not one of the, I wouldn't say he's a type A personality. He's not a takeover guy and I'm going to be the center of attention and all that. And that, to me, that's where you miss 5 shots in a quarter and you're like, I just don't have it tonight. It's not me. I'm going to help. I'm going to feed the other guys. I'm going to get the other guys going because I tonight I'm a little off. I need AD and hopefully LeBron, and for Lakers fans, hopefully LeBron and or Darvin Ham will sit him down, right? And I'm guessing they've said this to him before. But what they got to say to him, Rob, is, look, dude, if you're 0 for 20, you need to keep shooting because you're our guy.
Right.
And a nice guy is like, let me get everybody else involved. A dog is like, Rob, how many times have you heard players say, I believe the next one's going in?
Right. And you have to understand, if you're him and his teammate, dude, we can't win with you with that.
Right.
We're not going to win. So we can't go elsewhere. We can't.
Right.
We gotta get points from you. And to as you said, 5 shots in the third quarter and 1 in the fourth. They didn't get blown out by 40 points where he didn't play. Come on, that's ridiculous.
That's what I'm saying. That tells me, Rod, he was just like, it ain't my night. And the big scorers, the dogs, they don't have that mentality. They like, I'm going to keep putting it up.